My name is Adam Rebora, and I'm a local Chicago artist.
You know we're stepping to this, you know we're stepping to this, you know we're skating.
I've grown up and was raised in Chicago, in the Wrigleyville area. I've gotten a whole lot of fun over there, especially lately, which has been a bit extreme. But I don't know, it's been super cool growing up in the city. A lot of my family's around here. My grandparents both live nearby, and they were both artists, so that was a big influence on me, I know. Was I just get to go over to my grandma's house at any time and get to head down to her basement. She had a whole studio set up, and we just paint or goof around or draw or make stupid clay figures and stuff. And so that's probably, I got a lot of art influence from that growing up. I still paint with my grandma to this day. We go to her studio and just every other day or something are down there painting, dancing around, listening to fun music, and we get to like critique each other or compliment each other or work on things or come up with new ideas together, and it's a really fun collaborative space. And it's always kind of been, even before I started really painting seriously, it's always been a thing. Like, fortunate enough as a kid, we'd as cousins all go to my grandparents' house and have, you know, she'd have a project for us to do, or like today we're all making clay people or doing a watercolor picture each or something, and it was just this fun, supportive environment, and we all got to explore arts in different ways. So yeah, they are for sure my favorite artists. Other than that though, I've been really, I grew up around, you know, comics and cartoons and TV shows and all that stuff that really had an impact on me. I think it's a lot of times not represented as art. It's since like gotten a lot more respect, but like one of my favorites is Jack Kirby, who invented, you know, most of Marvel. And he just has this like crazy style, and was, you know, they kind of said he wasn't a real artist at the time because he couldn't draw people right or something. He drew them in his own way, yet then now there's, you know, the most multi-billion-dollar movies are made off his drawings. But it's fun. I like there's so many different styles in that cartoon kind of format that you can play with. I know I read a lot of stuff like Dr. Slump, which just had this, it was Akira Toriyama, and he had these just crazy expressioned characters, and like there's so much emotion and reaction, and it can be even from simple drawings, but you portray, I don't know, emotion or stuff through that, or creativity through that, that's like just unheard of in a lot of other mediums. So I know, so I found a lot of stuff from that kind of pulp, that pop, found a lot of stuff from that pop art that's really cool. You can create moods with it, you can do colors and stuff that's not really there in real life, but you can use it as a way to express and kind of inspire some wonder and imagination. I do a lot of acrylic art. I'm a painter by trade. And I do a lot of cartoons and whimsical things, kind of stuff that's silly or cartoony or fun, or some horror influences, but mostly light things. And I've also recently started doing a new series that's photo-based, where I've been going around to different areas in Chicago, taking some photos, and then painting different creatures on them, and kind of mixing cartoon acrylic aesthetic with real photography. That series I got started doing just because I did grow up in Chicago, and there's a lot of, I don't know, I like folklore and I like kind of magic stuff or kind of fantasy things I think are really cool, but they're always set like in the country or like in a forest, and there's all this like I know, as a kid, I had to find that same like imagination, but in the city and stuff. And I think that's something that's kind of overlooked, or like, yeah, kind of overlooked. And so it was like I can find there can be magic infused into Chicago or urban environments, and especially not necessarily when people look at Chicago, they always, you know, you're gonna make it look beautiful and you're gonna show the Navy Pier or the Bean or here's the Sears Tower or something like that. It's not often that people like look at what kind of the real things of Chicago are. Where it is like, yeah, on my day-to-day in Chicago, I pass by street cones and, you know, dirty train tracks and old broken down stuff or things with graffiti, and there's a beauty to that, I think. And so in those photo ones, I've been trying to capture some of that kind of, here's what's really here, but it's beautiful in its own way. It's got this real feel, and they're the things that I've grown up walking around or seeing, and then trying to find imagination in that. I've mostly just done art on my own with my grandma. I show typically at the Vailcraft Gallery in River North, which is super cool, and I show there with my grandma, which is double cool. And we actually this September have a duo show there where we're going to be the featured artists. So it's going to be a bunch of the art that we've done over the course of the pandemic, and get shown up on the walls there, which is going to be super fun, and our first featured show together, which is going to be super cool. Other than that, I've popped around. There was Ice House Gallery in Evanston, which unfortunately shut down because of the pandemic. A really cool one though I did was we were offered a show at a library, and we decided to. Earlier I talked about like there's a lot of people who create art or who don't, if not given the opportunity to create art, wouldn't know that they were artists. And my family has a lot of artists in it, which is cool. So we decided to do this show that had everyone in the family throw in some art, whether you're an artist or not. And it was really cool because some people were artists and they did these crazy things. And then there were some people who discovered that they were an artist in a way. Like my uncle, all of a sudden he was painting and was like, this is such a great getaway for me, and I just love doing this, and it relaxed me. I was tense from work and stuff, and now and has since like started just painting as a hobby, and it's great. Or one of my other cousins really took it up and was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I could do this, and has been painting since and experimenting with different formats. And it's really cool to see something like that where it's like anyone could do it. And then we got to share it with the Chicago Public Libraries, and it got to hang up for a couple months, and got to share it with a lot of people, so it was fun. Art is something that I think anyone can do to a degree. Anyone can create something, and it's just finding how you want to create it, what's your voice, how you want to interact with the world with it. And it doesn't have to be a Picasso or something. You can find your own way through it. I don't know, I think creating is really, really important. The arts are so very important, and everyone has it in them. And they should explore that. They should explore storytelling. And if you have the inclination to do anything, I think go for it. Don't be afraid. Just go for it. You'll figure yourself along the way, but you should always just go for those things, those dreams, that creativity. If you're not going to create it, no one else will, and everyone has something that's really special to them. They can be storytellers or artists or a million other things, but anyone can create and add to the world, and that's something that's super, super necessary, super unique, and yeah.
for my players, dealing with haters and imitators, stepping out on the scene, crease fit in fresh gators. Fedoras on point, gotta include the cufflinks. Beautiful lady on their arm in the furs of their mix. This west side stepping, but out south they gets busy. I guess my grown man on, it's such a beautiful city. I'm rotating with my woman from side to side. Shawty follow my lead, they peep the way that we vibe. Stepping in Chicago with such a past tradition, similar to house music, we've earned the recognition to be dancing in style amongst the spectators, which includes footwork and also the percolator. I love how these stepping events display maturity. Beautiful couples and the women giving security. This type of nightlife, you need to check in this. Live from the west side, and we're stepping to this. If you're from the west side, yeah, we're stepping to this. Live from the west side, and we're stepping to this. If you're from the south side, yeah, we're skating to this. Live from the south side, and we're skating to this. You know we're stepping to this. You know we're skating to this. Live